everyone, welcome back from the break. I'm DJ Melody. This is Melodies with Melody, and if you're just tuning into today's show, it's my first show of the month of October. And October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So, in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we will be listening to music by women and discussing a little bit about each artist in addition to my regular old material that we like to talk about here. I'm sorry for the little technical difficulties. Some people were texting me and saying that they couldn't hear some of the songs, but I think we got a hold of that. All you missed was Pretend We're Dead by L7 and Cool Thing by Sonic Youth. I'll play them again next show, don't worry about it. But if you want to be up to date and kept up on my radio show, you should definitely follow me on my radio show's Instagram page, which is Melodies with Melody, and it's the same as my show, but with periods between each word, just to prevent like everyone's brain from jumbling the words together. I know that happens sometimes. Again, it's melodies.with.melody. Going back to the song that you were supposed to be hearing, I'm going to talk about it anyway. It's Cool Thing by Sonic Youth. You could listen to it on your own if you want to. I totally support that. And so Sonic Youth, technically they're fronted by both a man, who is Thurston Moore, and a woman, Kim Gordon. I'm still going to count them as a female-fronted band because Kim is just as good as a front woman as Thurston is a front man. And a cool little fact about them is that Kim and Thurston were married for like a super long time, since 1984, which is like most of the band's career. But not so fun fact, they divorced in 2013. Actually, I'm not sure if it was 2011 or 2013 because there's sources saying different things. So I'm not sure exactly. But the main point is that Kim is iconic. We're going to focus on her. She was a prominent figure in the Riot Girl scene of the 1990s, which I'll discuss more later. And she gave an influence plenty of people, especially like filmmaker Sofia Coppola. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing her name right. Coppola. She famously directed movies like Marie Antoinette and The Virgin Suicides that I talked about last semester on my show, if you remember. If you remember, you're a real one. But back to Kim. She does more than sing. She produced Hole's record Pretty on the Inside. But nowadays, she likes to keep a low profile, which I totally respect. This last week, I was watching like Gilmore Girls, and I was so shocked when her and her daughter Coco made an appearance as the town's troubadours, because that's just like two of my favorite things combined. But yeah, about the song I just played, Cool Thing. It was actually inspired by an interview she did in 1989 with LL Cool J. Apparently, her and LL Cool J did not have much in common, and so the song is just like a mock-off of that interview. Even though the male voice in the bridge is not actually LL Cool J, it's sung by Chuck D, the guy from Public Enemy. But yeah, Cool Thing is a cool song, and to tell you the truth, I was so torn between playing this song and Sacred Trickster, which is also by Sonic Youth, sung by Kim. But Sacred Trickster touches on like a really annoying question that every female rock star gets asked at least 100 times during their career. That question being, what's it like to be a girl in a band? But both of these songs have really strong woman energy, but I just chose Cool Thing because it's like the more popular song of the two. But I would love to play Sacred Trickster in the future. On today's show, I totally girl bossed through my weekend. I shopped, I painted my girly fingernails, I twirled my girly hair, I pet my 2 cats, and I read My Year of Rest and Relaxation, which, yeah, it's been like 2 months of reading this book, and I took so long to read it, and now the author, Otessa Moshfegh, I think that's how you say her name, I don't know. She's being canceled on TikTok anyway, and it's like a total 180 from when I first bought this book. Everyone hyped it up so much, and they were loving the author because she has other hit books. It was just like every cool girl's personality trait, and I kind of wanted to be in on that. But I just bought the book because I miss how much of a bookworm that I was like when I was younger. All I knew about My Year of Rest and Relaxation was that it's about this rich girl who is mentally ill, and she just wants to sleep for a really, really long time. And no, it's not like a metaphor for death or anything in the book. It's like literally she just wants to take a nap for a whole year. But yeah, I thought it would like be a really great read. Now, after reading like half of it, I totally understand why the author is facing backlash from some people, because her writing includes a lot of like pro-eating disorder remarks as well as like some clear racial bias, and both of these traits make appearances like in most, if not all, of her books apparently. So if you own one of her novels and you read it and you notice the same things that I did, you are absolutely not alone. And there's even an article you can read done by Andrea Long Chu, who is kind of notorious for her savagely written articles on many other authors. But speaking of controversial female authors, news broke about author Colleen Hoover, who's best known for her book It Ends With Us. She also writes a bunch of like other romance novels. So supposedly Hoover's son has been accused of several crimes, and Colleen has been trying to bribe the victims to like stay quiet. So that's not good, obviously, right? But in contrast, here are some unproblematic authors that you can try out if you no longer feel comfortable supporting those I just mentioned. So if you like angsty literature, try Cassandra Clare. If you're interested in romance novels, try Taylor Jenkins Reid. And if you're more like into fantasy books, you should try the author Trudy Canavan instead of J.K. Rowling, because she's problematic too, but I don't want to go over that. So in conclusion, it is great and amazing to support female artists and authors and female creatives in general, but everyone should be held accountable for their actions. And I just want to say that I did not share these stories to be negative or to be a hater, but just to make more people conscious of like the creatives that you support, because it's always such a disappointment to learn that a good artist you've supported may not be that great of a person. One example that I've experienced was with Courtney Love, lead singer of Hole. I knew some people hated her because she's not the nicest person, I guess, but as I was scrolling through TikTok one night, I saw videos of her saying, not so nice things, and even encouraging her whole audience to say it with her, as well as bullying members of the crowd for being, members of certain ethnicities, which is not great, not good at all. So many people like try to attribute these incidents to like all the substances in our system, but to me, either way, it's just unacceptable. Those values are not something I would want to support, and for those reasons, I will no longer be playing any music by Courtney Love or her band Hole on this radio show. But enough about that lady already. We're gonna move on to the next powerful lady of the hour. So, of course, I'm talking about none other than Bjork, who is best known for her song Venus as a Boy, and although I absolutely adore her solo career, today I wanted to introduce everyone to her band called the Sugar Cubes, fronted by Bjork, of course, and it was created in the height of her career. It's a little bit different from her solo material, because while Bjork herself was so like whimsical and otherworldly, the Sugar Cubes feel more down to earth for me. They're kind of like post-punk, kind of avant-pop, in the best way possible. So I wanted to play one of my favorites, and this one is, I guess, like their most popular song. It's called Birthday by the Sugar Cubes. Here you go. Hey everyone, welcome back from the break. This is Melodies with Melody, and I am DJ Melody. And if you're just tuning in, today's show is focusing on female icons of the alternative slash indie slash rock genre in honor of it being October, which is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So I've been having a lot of fun on today's show because this is an idea that I've had in my head since like last semester. But as I've been talking about all these prominent figures and such, there's one word that I don't think I've explained to everyone, and it's kind of vital to your understanding of rock today as we know it. That word being Riot Girl. So Riot Girl, spelled Riot, GRRRL, is a subculture that centered itself around feminist values, and the whole point of Riot Girl movement was for women to be able to go out and express themselves in the same way that men express themselves. So this movement was really able to incorporate music, feminism, politics, and it addressed women's issues, advocated for women's rights, and it gave birth to many fashion trends and even like creative things like zines or zines, however you want to pronounce it. It's like DIY mini magazines. So some of the most notable bands in this genre include Bikini Kill and Bratmobile, which you may or may not have heard of. I definitely need to play Bratmobile for you guys too. But recently, during the beginning of the pandemic, I'd say there was a short-lived revival of the genre thanks to TikTok. There were a couple of like newer girl bands who tried to brand themselves as a Riot Girl band. However, it was found that these newer Riot Girl bands did not share the same values as the movement, and they were just trying to jump on the bandwagon or, like label themselves as something they were not, just to garner more attention and gain more fans. So yeah, this like 6-month Riot Girl revival died out pretty quickly because at the time trends were moving so fast on social media. I mean, you'd blink and like you'd miss out on so many social happenings. But speaking of social happenings, a lot more tours have been announced around the United States, and it is my duty to update you guys on the latest. So we have Arctic Monkeys going on tour next August for their new album I mentioned. It's titled The Car. LCD Soundsystem is going on tour this November through December. We have Melodies Echo Chamber next spring, The Front Bottoms this December, Men I Trust, Dominic Fike, Smashing Pumpkins, Jane's Addiction, My Chemical Romance Depeche Mode, Muse, the 1975, Steve Lacy, and of course The Garden, who I'm going to go see in November. Um, all those bands are going on tour, and it is absolutely like tour prime time before we have another pandemic set in. Just kidding. I hope that doesn't happen. It almost did with monkeypox, you know. We had a little scare there for a moment. Thankfully, we already have a vaccine against it. We're not in the clear, but we do have a vaccine. And we should still continue to be vigilant and watch out for our health and the health of others. You know, we need to get vaccinated, stay home if we feel sick, even if COVID isn't as rampant anymore as it used to be. But it is flu season, and I've already had classmates get sick, and I've had teachers cancel their classes. So please continue to be safe. Before we go back to the music break, I wanted to tell you a little more about our next female artist, who is none other than the legendary Kim Deal. So, Kim Deal is best known for her work with the band Pixies, which is another one of my favorites. I played them for you guys. She wrote songs, she sang songs, and she played the bass for the Pixies. And fun fact, when she auditioned to be the bassist for the Pixies back in 1986, she showed up without a bass and somehow still managed to become their bassist. So 3 years later, in 1989, Kim Deal formed the Breeders with her sister, Kelly Deal, which is another one of my favorite bands. I even own a tape of their album, The Last Splash. So yeah, those are some of Kim's better-known projects, but today I wanted to play you a song from another one of her bands. This one is not as well known. They're called the Amps. They were formed in 1995, and I believe they only got around to releasing like one album. In my opinion, it is just as good as all of her other projects. Kim Deal can do no wrong in my eyes. But this next song is called Bragging Party, and it was absolutely my comfort song last semester. I have so many memories of exploring the Brownsville campus attached to this song, and I think more people need to hear it because it's kind of catchy. If you like it, just know that me, DJ Melody, put you onto this song. So here you go, Bragging Party by the Amps. Hey everyone, welcome back from the break. I'm DJ Melody, and you're listening to Melodies with Melody. Today is my first show of October. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we are playing songs made by women. I had a lot of fun today. You know, first we talked about L7, we discussed Mitski, we talked about some controversial authors and artists, we dove into Bjork's career, Kim Gordon, Kim Deal, and now I wanted to briefly touch on Sleater Kinney, which is the song you heard just before Duvet by Boa. Sleater Kinney, who sang the song that you just listened to called One More Hour, it's from their 1997 album titled Dig Me Out. They're super influential also. I actually saw that record at Barnes & Noble, and I 100% regret not picking it up because it's such a gem. And, you know, I feel like Barnes & Noble has really stepped it up. They're starting to cater to the people who collect records, finally. This weekend, I went to the one on 10th Street, and I found so many cool records. So I saw, Modest Mouse, their album titled This Is a Long Drive for Someone with Nothing to Think About. That is their actual title of the album. And it's my favorite one from them. And I also saw The Stone Roses, their self-titled album, Talking Head 77, PJ Harvey, Stories from the City, Stories from the Sea. And I also saw Pavement's Slanted and Enchanted album. You guys, even just reading this list out loud, I'm beating myself up for not buying any of those. But the truth is that Barnes & Noble has the guts, the audacity to be charging like $40 or more for every single record, regardless of what it is. And I remember this one time I found a record by the Monkees. It was for $5 at a local record store in like mint condition. But when I found the same record at Barnes & Noble, it was like $50. $50. So it's so scammy of them to do that, but whatever. Here's some quick updates on a story that I covered last week. If you guys remember, I talked about YouTube sensations, the Try Guys. They were part of BuzzFeed. They broke off. They're guys. They try things. They're goofy. They're silly. Their whole brand is like lighthearted fun. But so the whole scandal, you know, there was like an affair between two employees there. So like 2 days ago, I think, they released a video, like an official video statement about the whole situation. They said that they did not know about the situation until like we found out at the same time, basically, and that they were shocked, they were disappointed, they lost a friend. So yeah, they're gonna edit him out of the videos because they had some pre-recorded videos. They're going to edit him out, and he's no longer going to be a part of it. And I think the lady employee that was part of the affair, I think she's still working there. I'm not entirely sure. But in other news, McDonald's has come out with an adult Happy Meal, and it has like funky versions of the original McDonald's crew, like Grimace and the Hamburglar, and I forgot the other cheerleader chicken girl, but it's pretty cool. They basically have like 4 eyes, kind of like spiders. This week we also had popular Minecraft YouTuber Dream, he's most known, he like wears a mask on his face. He kept his identity hidden for his whole career, which was pretty much since like early YouTuber days. I'm not sure exactly when he started, but his whole career he's hidden his face from everyone. Not even his like YouTuber friends knew what he looked like. And so there's been a couple like leaks, quote unquote leaks of like pictures that are supposed to be him. A couple of them were false, but one of them was actually right. He was younger. He was, I guess hadn't gone through puberty or something. I don't know. But it was him. It was him. And so we see that now because he did an official, face reveal. He went on YouTube, or I think he streamed it like on Twitch or something. But he did like a face reveal to all his friends first, and like he posted like his friends reacting to it and whatever. So he actually did reveal his face this time, which is pretty cool. So it basically confirms our suspicions about that one picture. It actually was true. That was him. But yeah. All right, guys. I believe that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed today's episodes of Melodies with Melody. Again, sorry about the technical difficulties we had earlier today with the songs. But make sure you guys tune in next week because I will be taking requests on my Instagram page, melodies.with.melody. Again, melodies.with.melody on Instagram. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for tuning in. So as a parting gift, here is Cities and Dust by Susie and the Banshees. All right, guys, once again, thank you so much. This is DJ Melody. You tuned in to Melodies with Melody, and thank you for everyone who supports me, who listens to me, who shares my things on social media. I appreciate it a lot. So today's episode was real successful, well, beside the little technical difficulty, but make sure you tune in next week. Bye. Thank you.